Welcome to Intelligent Artifice, the podcast that helps you become a 10x performance marketer. Intelligent Artifice explores the cutting edge of the intersection of AI, creatives, and performance marketing. Every week, we deconstruct the ad systems behind high-performing advertisers using our in-house semantic analysis system, BruteForce AI, or we sit down with top operators redefining how advertising gets done in a generative AI world. Whether you're scaling user acquisition, leading a creative team, or building a creative engine with AI, this podcast is your unfair advantage. Intelligent Artifice is hosted by me, Shamant Rao, the founder and CEO of the boutique growth marketing agency, Rocketship HQ. You can find out more about us at rocketshiphq.com. Our services are ideal for advertisers spending over $50,000 a month on paid social. Check out the podcast website, intelligentartifice.net, or our newsletter, intelligentartifice.kit.com. Today, we deconstruct the ads of Ladder, which is a strength training app for busy people. It has generated over 19 million in revenue over the last 12 months and offers a very instructive read into persuasive advertising in the fitness space. To do this analysis, I ran a semantic analysis of 210 video ads using our in-house AI tool, BruteForce AI. BruteForce AI analyzed every video frame by frame and came up with insights on hooks, text overlays, visual hooks, and a number of other dimensions, which I'm going to walk you through today. Let's look at the hooks here. In terms of the text overlay, let's start by looking at the hooks. A big one here is a time duration call out. Give me 6 weeks, give me 8 weeks, give me 6 weeks, give me 8 weeks, starting January 6th. And this is very interesting. And this is very effective because it provides a believable promise to the user. The other call out here, the other element to note is the identity call out. It says, give me 6 weeks. Okay, girls, we had a holiday. My guys give me 8 weeks. So this calls out the direct identity of the users being targeted. You also see the POV. You also see the POV text overlays and fallouts of the actual results. She dropped 6 pant sizes, so on. And now if we look at the spoken hooks, you can see here some formats that are the most common based on personal experience. I was doing random workouts. I used to blah, blah, and I went through this too. And if you look at the spoken hooks, which are the words actually spoken by the creators, you can see if you look at the spoken hooks, which are the first words spoken by the creators or in the video, there are a number of videos with personal experience. I was doing X, I went through X, and then there are questions like, think about it. Do you want to see results? These are very common among the ads that we've seen. The next one is story setup, just like story time. Someone came up to me, let me tell you what happened, which builds some anticipation that there is a story coming. Another very common spoken hook is a challenge. You're saying we don't have time, stop doing run and workouts. These are instructions or challenges that interrupt the pattern. Now, if we look at the pain points here, the big ones are not getting results. People have tried other alternatives. People have tried a number of other different things. They haven't gotten results. And acknowledging that allows us to meet them where they are right now. Somewhat related pain point is program confusion, which is people have taken a lot of random classes. People have guessed a lot of workouts. Now, acknowledging that allows the product to present itself as a solution and say, look, we have a structured program that you don't have to guess. It's not random. Another pain point is that people are tired of their current physical shape, tired of being skinny, tired of being fat. So that's another big pain point that is called out. You also see time management, don't have enough time, can't stay consistent, or just being intimidated by the gym. I don't know where to start. I am confused about what to do. These are also pain points that I focused on. Let's look at the aspirations that are highlighted in these ads. A big one is specific call out. A big one is body shape and composition. Grow my older body, transform your crusty cheeks to a juicy peach. Now, it's interesting that, or get toned, get shredded. Now, it's interesting that these are very specific because for somebody that is these are very specific and therefore appeal to users who have some context and some experience with strength training. For somebody that's just looking to lose weight and has never worked out in a gym, these would not be nearly as appealing. So in a sense, a lot of the verbiage here appeals to power users or users who have some experience in the gym, who have made some attempts at working out. And you can see in these aspiration focused messaging, they also talk about what you're leaving behind, what you're what you're ditching. You transform your dusty, crusty cheeks. If you want to drop stubborn fat, if you want to ditch the influencer program. So you also have to emphasize what you're leaving behind and what the enemy is. And it's just as important to call out the enemy as much as it is to call out what you're going to become. You have to call out the enemy as much as you call out the aspiration. What are the emotions that a lot of these ads, what are the emotions now? What are the emotions that these ads trigger? You can see here frustration, intimidation, confusion. These seem to be the big ones that a lot of these ads focus on. How about FOMO? There is social FOMO. Someone else is taking your spot. There is a lot of time-based FOMO. Give me 6 weeks, 30 minutes a day, which makes this feel very manageable. There is a lot of time-based FOMO. January 6th, give me 6 weeks, 30 minutes a day, which drives urgency. And what's interesting is if an ad says restart Monday, that can be an ongoing evergreen ad, because there are Mondays every week. What about gendered messaging? You can very clearly see ads that target women and men. Be a muscle mommy very clearly calls out the kind of user that's being targeted. Greek God Plan targets a very, very different kinds of users. Greek God Plan calls out a very different kinds of user. Dad bought the Greek God, again, calls out a very different kinds of user. Dad bought the Greek God calls out dads and parents. A Greek God Plan could potentially call out younger men as well. And you can see both in terms of the visual imagery, you can see both in terms of the visual cues and the text, there are very clear gender differences in the messaging here. In summary, Ladder is a great case study in persuasive ads. And there are a number of things that we can learn from that. Number one is to focus on power users, not casual ones. A lot of the phrasing, verbiage, and visual cues emphasize and depict users who are already in the gym, users who are already comfortable working out. And that is something they laser focus on rather than casual users who just want to lose weight that may or may not be wanting that may not be wanting difficult strength training workouts. The second next is a focus on urgency. There are very clear and strong cues on time-based urgency and social urgency, which drive immediate conversions. Gendered messaging that focus on their ideal kinds of users that are typically older men and women. And because a lot of these ads speak directly to the kinds of users they want to target and focus on, these can drive immediate action. Next is a focus on emotional messaging to focus on frustration, intimidation, confusion, all of the things that users feel when they think about strength training. Next is to focus not just on the solution, but also on the problem and all of the challenges that users face and all of the pains and challenges that users face, all of the enemies, if you will, that users, and all of the enemies like lack of time, like program confusion, that failed past attempts that the users have already experienced. Having an ad creative strategy that encompasses all these elements is the secret of the growth strategy of Ladder. And there's something you can learn from them, even if you're in a completely different vertical. I thank you for watching and listening. This is Intelligent Artifice, and I'm Shamant Rao. If you want to check out the complete deconstruction document, click on the link in the comments below. Subscribe to get more deconstructions like this every week.